Hey everyone, we are back. Thank you so much for your patience. Of course, it wouldn't be alive if it wasn't smooth sailing, or if it was smooth sailing the entire time. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Hey everyone, it's Deb from the Maniology team with our weekly live every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. You can find us here on another nail stamping journey. Whether it's a tutorial, technique, or hack, we're here to discuss the details, and we're so happy you could join. Also, we know you never want to miss a Maniology live, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you love our videos. Remember to share our content with your friends, and feel free to leave a comment with suggestions for future content. Also, a little reminder, it's autumn, so cozy up to our latest releases of Maniology merch. Whether Halloween is your thing or you're loving fall, we'll have something that speaks to you and your nail mood. Thank you everyone for being so patient. Again, I always get so lucky, but I'm happy that you all are here with me. I missed you, and thank you for waiting it out while I try to fix these technical difficulties. Okay, so we are back, and today we are talking about Gothic nail art, or Gothic inspired nail art. So that's going to be a lot of dark, moody vibes, and even though I sound super upbeat, that is the vibe that we're going for today. Hello. Hi, Jill. Thanks for joining. So today we are going to be using a whole bunch of colors and a whole bunch of plates. So make sure you have your snacks, your drinks, and everything, because we are about to get into it. Yeah, I hope everyone can see the notification too. Well, let's hope that they'll come back with us. Anyways, I already painted nail tips ahead of time because I didn't want you all to have to wait forever for these tips to dry. So I went and applied the bases, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do over it. So the first thing we used was lace P112. If you don't have this color, honestly, I highly recommend getting it because there are so many different uses for it. And if you take a look at some of my lives, you'll have noticed that I've used this many times to make colors darker, to work as a sheer black base, to do all kinds of fun tricks with. I think I used it in my last live too. So again, if you don't have this color, definitely check it out. It's fun. I'm not gonna lie, I did two very thick coats when I apply this, and that's part of the reason why I did it earlier. You can see through it still, but these coats are really thick. I went very heavy-handed because I wanted to have a nice dark base for you all, so that way we kind of have a barely there look. Hey Ariel, I'm so happy you were able to join. Thank you everyone for following us. I know we were having some little bumps in the beginning, but now everything is better. So I was saying that I applied P112 lace as the base for this, and then I let it dry, and now we're going to get into the fun parts. You are going to want to take something that is very, and I've also used this polish a bunch, and this is the Expedition Peril B166. So if you don't have this color, it is amazing. You can do all sorts of fun, like special effects and sparkly things. And I love the fact that it's sheer. And today we are definitely going to be using that. So I'm using the monocle stamper. Is that lace a blue? This is a sheer black. And then Expedition Pearl is a sheer, like, special effects stamping polish. So if you stamp it over white, you're not going to see anything, but if you stamp it over black, that's where all the magic happens. And when you work with this, I'm not going to paint it directly onto the nail. And if you're wondering why, it's because it kind of has too, like, even though it's sheer, it has too much of a color that I don't want to completely hide that black base. So what I'm going to do instead thanks Tracy, is I'm gonna just put a whole bunch on a little palette, and then I'm gonna take my monocle stamper. So I taught you guys this trick last week, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do something like that. The reason I'm doing this is because the application is going to be thinner than if I just painted it directly onto the nail. And that's the thing that I'm going for. You want to give it a few seconds to dry before you just go ahead and stamp, because if you do that, you're going to slip right off the polish base and it's just going to be a hot mess. So it only takes a little bit. So I think it's good now. And then when you push down, make sure to really firmly press and try to get all the edges of that that nail, because if not, this will come back and like stick onto the nail, and then you're going to see a second layer of this, and we just don't want that. We want to keep it nice and even. So you can see that we have a nice even application from edge to edge, and it looks so pretty. I'm trying to see if I can show you guys what happens if you just like aren't careful. Okay, yeah, this. So you see how these things stick up? If you're not careful when you're stamping and pushing down firmly, those pieces sometimes stick back onto your nail, and then it just messes up the whole design. So I don't want that for you. And that's part of the reason why I recommend making sure that when you stamp, push firmly down. Then you're going to end up with something like this. And I'm going to go over it, and you can kind of see what it looks like. I feel like you can maybe see it a little better this way, maybe not. And then once you are done with that and have it on your nail, you're going to go ahead and grab pewter B328. And then we're going to plate. Then you're just going to go ahead and put your palette down and select whatever design you want. I think I'm going to select this design today because I really like all the little floral details and the fact that there's a tiny spider in the center. And then I'm going to be using my double-ended stamper so that way I can pick up all those fine details. It's such a pretty plate. I love this plate. I think it has the perfect Gothic elegance vibe that we're going for. It's a little spooky, but very pretty at the same time. Then you're going to pick up your design and stamp it on the nail. Again, you all know I'm a Hulk smasher, but we just want to make sure that all the details are on there. Beautiful. And that is design number 1 for our Gothic elegance. Shimmering spider webs. It is really pretty, isn't it? And this is really easy to achieve, this look. All you had to do was paint the black and then stamp on that like sheer shimmery color and stamp over with pewter. So very, very simple. That's our first design. Our second design, we are going to be using cherry bomb. So I applied it as the base, B326. And then we're going to be using one other color, a little bit of leather. So B368. And then you're going to grab a little sponge like this, and we are going to create a gradient. So when you do your gradients, always make sure that your lighter base is over the entire nail, and then go back and do your gradient. So the way I'm going to do the gradient is I'm actually going to do it dark up here, and light in the center. So it's not going to be an oval gradient, it's going to be a horizontal gradient, but it's going to be a horizontal gradient that is going in a different direction. Or actually, I'm like, maybe we'll do a vertical gradient. All right, I can't wait to show you. This is going to be fun. So I'm going to paint a line here, and then I'm going to paint a line here. And then we're going to paint cherry bomb right in the center. And make sure that it's as long as the nail that you are doing this on. Oh, you're right. Where is Grandma Mimsy? I hope she's okay. I hope she was able to find us. Was she here earlier? I don't know if I saw her earlier. Oh, she was here earlier. Hopefully she comes back. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. And then you can always tap out the excess, so that way you have something like that. And I feel like I have too much bright red in the center, so I might take this dark red leather and kind of go over a little bit more. Okay. Now, let's see. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. Hey, Zeniel, I'm happy you're able to make it. So now we're just gonna try and center this. Since I'm doing it on a nail tip and not on my actual nail, I'm having to kind of look at it from the side. And you can start to see that there is a beautiful gradient forming on both sides. And if you're having problems getting it to form perfectly, you can always do this trick. And I just literally take the side of the sponge and just go like that. And then you just tap it out in the center again. So it starts to create that vertical gradient that we were talking about. So you're going to do this a couple more times. I kind of am moving a bit slowly because I'm trying to talk and explain at the same time. So don't mind me, because I know if you did it on your nails without the camera, you all would be so quick. So just paint your lines. Try to make sure to get it nice and straight. There we go. Oh. And then tap out the excess. And then go ahead and sponge it on, just like that. Sponge, sponge, sponge. You see? Yes, kind of like the Gucci design. And if you don't get it perfectly centered, I'm going to let you know something. No one's going to know. And I'll show you why in a little bit. Do you see it? Can you tell that we have a nice gradient right down the center? Look at that. Isn't it pretty? Hold on one moment, everybody. Give me one sec. So after that, you're just going to go ahead and continue to tap it out until you get a nice smooth gradient. If not, you can just go ahead and stop right there. And then you're going to want to grab a nice shade called Skin Deep B325. Hey, Zeniel. It is easy, I promise. It's very easy. It's a lot harder when you have a camera in front of you and you're trying to like think of the next step and everything to say and do, but when you're by yourself doing this, it's literally, the hardest part is applying the polish, because after that, it's just tap, 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 tap. And we have tons of videos that explain how to do a perfect flawless gradient. And then you're going to want to grab your stamping plate that we will be using for this design, and it's going to be from this plate, M244. There are so many fun things that you can create with this plate. Today I'm going to be using this design, but I highly recommend checking it out. Actually, a few of the designs I'm doing today are coming from this plate. Yay, Deborah, I'm so happy you're back. Hi, Jessica. Hey, everyone. So wait, were you guys able to easily find the live? Because I think some people are having issues, but it seems like a lot of you were able to just like hop on with me. So I just want to make sure. Hey, Stephanie. I'm so happy everyone's back. Hi, bees. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yay, I'm so happy. Thanks, Tiana, for sending the link. It's all right, Mystic Kittens. You know the drill. If you need details, we can just go back and rewind in live time, or real time. So you guys were able to get the link in the chat, but was there like another live going on at the same time? Okay. Voila. Does that not scream Gothic elegance to you? Oh, interesting. Huh. We were waiting in the chat in the previous upload to live. Oh, strange. Yeah, I'm not sure because I ended the other lives, so I don't know if there's just some weird glitch. Well, I'm happy that you all are here and you guys are able to find me. Yes, it's very Baroque. It's giving strong Gothic elegance vibe. The design that we did earlier was this one. So it's kind of like a romantic spider, a lacy spider design. And then this is the second design that we're doing. Is this plate from the Halloween box? No, these are older plates. So that is the second design that we just finished. The first design was really easy. All I did was basically paint 2 coats of P112 lace, which is a sheer black polish. And then I applied a little bit of this Expedition Peril, and I stamped it on. And then we used pewter to stamp on the lacy spider design. And if you guys are curious to know which plates I'm using, it's all in the description. So I promise this one was super easy. This one was a gradient, and let me give you guys a quick recap. We just did a vertical gradient with cherry bomb and leather. So I did a vertical gradient like this. I sponged it on a couple of times, and then we used the color Skin Deep to stamp right over it. So both designs were really easy and simple to achieve. They didn't take much time at all. Now we are going on to the third design. So the third design, we're going to be using plate M064, and it has Edgar Allan Poe and also some vampire details on it. I already painted the base. Can you guys guess what the base is? I'll give you a hint. It starts with an S. April got it. It is spikes, B464. I can tell who knows their stamping polish, but to be honest, it's kind of hard. I'm gonna say it is hard to tell on the live because you can't see like all the speckles and, you know, all the like details of the finish. The lighting makes it look like it could be matte or it could be something else, but it is the color spikes. So we used spikes as a base today, and then you are going to need this light gray. I want to say this is headliner or maybe front page. I do not have the sticker on it right now. I accidentally let it come off. Sorry. That's a me problem. But if headliner is green, then this is front page. I know it was part of the Mani by Me box. Front page. Yay! Okay. See, I kind of got it. I'm so happy you all were here to help me. Okay, so then you're going to want to go ahead and take this design. So make sure to clean your stamper off. I always forget to do that part. And then I'm using the double-ended because there's so many tiny details. I want to make sure that I get every single part. But all my little okay. So that is the script from an Edgar Allan Poe book. Then you're just going to stamp it on. And because, okay, so if you try really hard, you might be able to make out what the script says. I forget what was on it, but I did used to know. So because this is basically a background, we don't really have to worry about what is actually on here. And you're just going to go ahead and restamp it because no one's going to be looking that closely to your nail. If they are, they need to back on up a little bit. That's a lot of closeness. And then you're just going to go ahead and clean this off, and we're going to restamp it so that way we can get a nice edge-to-edge look. Yeah, it's really hard to read, but I believe it is a quote from one of his books. It's been quite a while since I've looked at these plates. So you're just going to go ahead and take parts of the design. Doesn't matter what part, because again, we're just trying to fill space. And then you're just going to stamp it here. Stamp it up top. So now it just looks like a whole nail filled with text. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to select Edgar Allan Poe himself, and using straight up black, we're going to stamp over it. So when you do this, here, I'm going to try and get that in there. Make sure you apply a lot of polish. Then that's what the design is going to look like. And then you just, uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Okay, there we go. And then you stamp it over. So you can do all sorts of cool things like this, depending with what colors you use. You can try lighter colors, darker colors, but the concept is, I recommend doing like a mid-tone as the base, a light color, and then stamp like the forefront, the design that you want on top, stamp in the darkest color. So that is design number 3. The next design you're gonna use greenhouse as the base. Hi, Grandma Mimsy. I'm so happy you're able to find us on the live. So we used greenhouse as the base, B328, and this is what it looks like. And then we are going to go in with our sponge. And we're going to do a radial gradient. I did eat today. Did you guys have a good lunch? Did everyone eat? So we're gonna do a radial gradient using greenhouse and dusk. I'm so happy you all are getting good ideas from this. That's the point of these lives. We want to give you lots of fun, different Halloween ideas, so that way you can create a range of looks, whether you want to do something witchy or something like more kind of beautiful, scary kind of Halloween, or you're trying to go for something more graphic and unusual, like Tiana's cabinets. I really loved that anaglyph eyeball design that she created. That was my favorite. Did you guys have a favorite from that live that she did? If so, tell me in the comments below what you all loved that she created. Yeah, the anaglyph was definitely my favorite. It was so easy too. Just gotta use 2 colors to stamp. So the hardest part of this is literally just painting on the polish on the sponge. Once you do that, it's easy after that. But up until this point, it gets a little tricky. But I have confidence in all of you. Okay, let's see. Whoops. So we have something like that. Ooh, pizza sounds good. We're gonna have a weird little funky gradient. You're just gonna go ahead and, ooh. Do you see it? It's so pretty. The creepy 3D. Okay, so the creepy 3D was the eyes. So yeah, that was the anaglyph. That's the same one that I liked. I think part of the reason I love that design is because it has such a high impact look with such low effort. And that is what it's all about. You know that those nails are going to photograph so beautifully. And yeah, it takes like no time at all. And the best part is if you mess up and you can't like layer it perfectly or, you know, off-centered, it's still going to be okay. No one's going to be able to tell. So So remember that this shape in the center, whenever you're doing a radial gradient, the shape in the center always needs to match the shape of the nail. So if your nail is square, then the center is going to be a square, maybe, like a soft square, instead of a strong circle. Wow. Look at her. She looks cute. Oh no, I'm bummed, Alexis. I hope you will be able to catch the rest of this live a little later. Doesn't that gradient look so pretty? This is a really cute color combo. What? Combo? This is a really cute color combo. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab, let me go, where's my other plate? We're gonna use this design. And we're gonna stamp it in gold. No. Yeah. You guys are funny. Thanks for indulging me. Bye, Alexis. Uh-oh, I made a mistake. You see how all these little things picked up in places that I didn't want it to? So you can do this if you're too afraid to use your scraper. I tried using my scraper and I took away more than I wanted, but let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just redo this. I was thinking maybe it wouldn't matter because depending on the width of this design, it might be able to perfectly work with our nail tip. But unfortunately, my nail tip is a little bit wider, so we're gonna have to redo it. Honestly though, I think it's good that you see my mistakes because it just proves that whether you're a pro or not, things still happen sometimes. This isn't social media where everything is perfect 24/7 and I can just edit all the bad stuff out. So for those of you, that was a lot of polish. Did you all see that? It just like pooped polish. Okay, so I'm gonna just take it away with my nail instead because I'm too afraid that I am going to accidentally take away the wrong parts with my scraper card because I just did that like a second ago. Okay, now we can use the scraper card to get all this other excess junk. I think this other stuff on the side shouldn't matter. And then now we're just gonna stamp it right in the center. Who else thinks of vampires when you think of Gothic elegance? Is that just me? I specifically think of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Right? Vampires and roses. I know, I thought about doing a rose, but I was like, should I do the rose? I should have done the rose. I even think of, like, Edgar Allan Poe comes to mind also when I think of, like, Gothic elegance. Interview with a Vampire. Yes, definitely. Vampires. Vampires always come up when you think of that kind of stuff. I don't know why. Okay, so for the very last design, Lestat. Oh, I remember that movie very well. I watched that movie a lot. So we're going to do plate M244. 244. Yep. M244. Did read that properly. And then, for some reason, it sounded weird when I said it out loud. Willie B258. So the base is Willie, and I painted one coat earlier. I saw a question about my stamper. What was that? Let me see if I can see that again. How do you keep your stamper in when you stamp like that? What do you mean, when I'm like pushing down? I mean, I push firmly, but not so firmly that it like causes the stamper to pop out. And then before I stamp, I usually just do like a quick check to make sure it's lined up in the grooves. So we're gonna use this design. It has bats and flowers. That's not exactly a rose, but it kind of has the feeling that I'm going for. And then you're gonna grab 2 polishes. So you're gonna need Shattered B372, and then you're gonna need Hail Santa B450. And I'm gonna fold this over because I've used so much of it already. Wow, we're flying by in this live. It took me a while to get up and running, but gosh, I didn't expect it to go by so quickly. Because I'm already on the 5th design. So you're going to want to look at this design, and then we're going to do a gradient stamp. So we're going to apply Shattered at the top of the nail. And then we're going to apply Hail Santa at the bottom. And then the reason why I was able to over scrape there, because I know we always tell you all don't over scrape, it's because I put a lot of polish. So if you use a lot of stamping polish, you'll be able to scrape multiple times. And that's what the design looks like. Can you see the gradient? Because I see it clearly on my end. Oh, there. Now we can kind of see it a little brighter. Yes, it is giving cran grape vibes. And these were all pretty easy to accomplish. I feel like the hardest part for the designs that we did today was these 2, and that's because we had to do the gradient. But even the gradient, that step is very simple. I have a lot of faith in all of you. I know you can nail it. That's kind of what the designs look like. But gosh, we whizzed through that so quickly, I can't even believe it. I'm thinking, should I do one more? I had one extra tip over here that I wasn't exactly sure what I was gonna do with, but maybe we can do one more bonus design. Since everybody was being so awesome and so patient, so let's give you all one more. I am using Queen of Hearts P146 for the base. And I did 2 coats with this. And then we're gonna stamp with black. And because we discussed roses, I think we're gonna do some roses. Thanks, Tiana. I'll see you a little later. Bye, Tiana. So we discussed roses, so we're gonna do roses. I can't talk about the box cheer. I can't talk about it. Sorry, everybody. I can't say anything. I'm sworn to secrecy. If I could, I would. I'm not very good at keeping secrets either, so so I really can't say anything. I'm terrible. Oh, look at that. That was me moving way too smooth and also using the wrong stamper. That's what happens when you use the wrong stamper. You end up with that. So if you don't get a nice clean pickup, it might be because you're using the wrong stamper and you are pushing too gently. So for this kind of design, this is a Hulk smash design, in my personal opinion, and it's gonna need all the polish. And then on top of needing all the polish, you're gonna need a good strong double-ended stamper so that way you can push down and get into all those grooves. Look at that, perfect. Do you see that? And now we have a cute little rose design. Let me see if the smudge free will help. Yes, if you're having problems, I stamped it so hard I accidentally like squished the tip and made it stick out. So if you're having problems with stamping fine line designs, try switching to a different stamper and also make sure that the polish that you're using is newer. Okay, and if you're struggling with getting a nice clean look, let's see. This color combination is a little rough. It's more subtle. And I don't know if I really like that. So what I might do instead of keeping it in just the black, I'm going to go ahead and apply another stamp, one more stamp. For this one, I'm going to go with a color that is a little bit brighter, but not too bright. So I think I'm going to go with, I think we said this was Front Page. There we go. Then you're just going to stamp one more time. And I'm going to do a little double stamp action. And now we see more of our details come to life. And now there's a little bit of a black shadow underneath, which is really cool. And that is the 6 designs today. So I gave you roses, vampires, lace, and spider webs. Well, it's kind of like a lacy spider web. Oops. So here are all the designs. Thank you everyone for joining me. I know today was a little bit of a rough live, and I'm so sorry about that. I really appreciate everyone's patience and for hopping back on. So for those of you who did miss it, you're always able to rewatch, and as soon as we're done with this live, it should be uploaded. And yeah, I hope that everything will play smoothly. Usually I notice when sometimes I have like weird interruptions, the playback is always smooth, so not really sure what's up with that. But anyways, have a great week, and I'll talk to you all later. Thank you. Bye everyone.